What's up, guys, and welcome to Week 3 recap of our NFL podcast here. Another just crazy week in the NFL. We say that every week, but NFL is just nuts every single year, including this year. Not so many undefeated teams. There's only one team that has lost all 3 games, so it's been a really, really crazy year so far in the NFL. Today we're going to be going over everything having to do with Week 3 of the NFL season, going over every single game in, just a brief little recap, going over our fantasy games this week, and then heading into next week where we'll kind of preview everything for that. Should be another pivotal week for most teams. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Welcome back to our podcast. Zach's here with me, and we're going to go over all this stuff. Week 3, starting off with a Thursday night shootout between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns, ending out with a 29-17 win for the Cleveland Browns. It was closer than that because of the end result. Kind of the funny note that I want to point out here with the spread is the fact that I don't know exactly what the spread was. I can scroll down.
It was 6.5.
The spread was 6.5. 4.5. Spread was 4.5, I believe. And then
6.5.
Was it? I see it.
Unless they changed it.
The line
McAfee at 6.5. That's what I saw.
Okay, so maybe it's different sports books or something, but yeah, so basically at the end of the game with the laterals, Najee flips it behind his head, and the Browns pounce on it, score touchdown, and ruin the spread just with that last play. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember too much about that game. I don't know if you have any comments.
It was boring.
It was really boring. It was boring.
Like all the night games this week.
Yeah, they have been. They have been very boring. So really not much to touch on there. The Browns are 2-1, believe it or not. Pittsburgh falls to 1-2. Moving on to our Sunday matchup, starting out with Houston and Chicago. This one was a close one for almost the entire game. Davis Mills throws a pick at the end of the game, tied 20-20, and the Bears just run out the clock, kick a field goal. 2-1 for the Chicago Bears, not what anybody expected. The Texans close to being 0-3, but obviously pulled out that tie first week.
Yeah, not quite.
Not quite there. So pretty close game there. Probably two teams that are close, but the Bears have pulled out of 2 close garbage games so far. And now we get into a bunch of games in a row that don't make sense compared to what we've seen earlier this year. The Titans finally have a decent game. The Raiders put up a good effort. 24-22, very close game there. The Raiders coming back on the Titans, who had the lead most of the game, and then they failed to convert on the 2-point conversion. Really sucks for the Raiders. They need to start. I know Zach hates Mac Hollins with a passion.
You'd think, okay, we're 0-3. We have the best wide receiver in the league. Let's throw to Mac Hollins. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a good idea, guys.
Yeah.
Josh Daniels, just a great coach.
Yeah, I saw Ghetto Gronk posted a few memes and stuff today. Devontae Adams and Tarek Carr, dude, so good. They're actually like some of the best collection of Ghetto Gronk stuff I've ever seen. But Titans finally get a win there. Raiders looking for their first win of the season. The only 0-3 team in the entire league, which is crazy considering some of the teams that we have. The Raiders are the last team anybody would probably expect. Well, not the last team, but one of the few teams that you wouldn't expect to be 0-3 at this point in the season. So they fall to a close game to the Titans. Colts, Chiefs, another close game. The Chiefs, obviously with a good start to the year, fall to the Colts, who are now 1-1. They get their first win and finally look good. Their defense looking good for the game. I really, didn't watch this game. I don't think you did either, but I don't know if you have any comments for this one.
No, I mean, this is what I thought the Colts were going to be, but they just made now they just make no sense. I think they're good. I just don't know.
Matt Ryan, 27 for 37, 2 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor, 21 carries, 71 yards, nothing crazy. Pittman back. Towards the end of the game, it was close. Fourth quarter, they scored with 24 seconds left to win that game. So that was a close, tight game. Like I said, Colts finally get their first win. That AFC South division is interesting, to say the least. Chiefs, well, they'll bounce back. Chiefs are looking like a good team this year, but good win for the Colts there. Another just really interesting close games, and this really the story right now. Bills and Dolphins AFC East matchup. Dolphins come out on top 21-19, which is definitely an odd score, something you don't see very often, mainly because of the butt safety on the end zone towards the end of the game. The Bills kind of force Miami to punt in their end zone, and it goes directly into the guy's ass. And safety, the Bills get the ball back, obviously, after that, down by 2 and can't go down the field. I think they came close to kicking a field goal, but ran out of time.
And their offensive coordinator absolutely lost his mind.
I mean, it's week 3. They'll be fine, but I understand the frustration there. It's a divisional matchup. That's when, especially with fighting for the Dolphins, who are now 3-0. Good start for the Dolphins, my goodness. Yeah, that's a big pivotal game for both teams, but I think the Bills will bounce back. Miami's showing that they're a contender this year. They're looking like a really, really good team. 3-0 for the Dolphins. Moving on to the next game, Lions-Vikings, man. As Lions fans, it hurts. That was a tough game to lose because you had it in the bag. You had a good game. You lose those fourth quarter points. Just coaching decisions, man. Here's the thing, right? The whole game, the Lions were forced into so many fourth downs. They couldn't convert on their third downs. They got close every time, and they went for it almost every time.
Yep, they were 4 for 5.
Yeah, and they converted most of them, and they did not convert the one that didn't, that counted the most. Jamal Williams, a handoff when that should have been a pass. Was it 4th and 1 or was it 4th and 2?
It was 4th and 1, but I mean,
yeah,
just where you're at on the field, and I think they ran on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, and then they just passed the ball. Please.
Yeah, Swift has been out, so Jamal, got most of the carries, so he was probably tired. It looked like he could have maybe made a play, but once again, it's just maybe not the best play calling there. Dan Campbell admitted his mistake and said he wished they would have gone for the field goal, so Seibert misses, or goes for it on the 4th down, my apologies. Seibert obviously missed 2 field goals in the game. The Vikings kicker, I forget what his name is. Well, I should know this. Greg Joseph misses.
I think.
Greg Joseph, I believe.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I don't know. But he misses 2 field goals as well. So a little bit of a messy game. Kicker-wise, sucks for the Lions. Bad decisions, bad defense. Obviously, Swift is looking to be out for the next couple weeks. Looks like the next 2 weeks, they're saying, heading into the bye. So 3 weeks without Swift here. Well, technically. And then also Tracy Walker out for the year for the Lions. So that's a big blow. Dalvin Cook for the Vikings. They said is day-to-day, but he dislocated his shoulder. Maybe no major damage, so he'll be okay.
Some painkillers.
And he'll pop it back in, and he's fine. So, close game. Big divisional matchup there. The Lions will bounce back, I'm sure. They've got some good matchups coming up. The Vikings showing that they are a good team in this league. As of right now, the Packers have an easy schedule. NFC North is a close division right now. Close race. I'm excited to see how that finishes. Ravens-Patriots was a really good game. Close. I guess it wasn't super close, but Ravens showing their offensive powerhouse. Now, I want to hear yours. So first of all, we got two major things with this game. Number 1 is Bailey Zapp. Bailey Zapp might be playing next game because Mac Jones with a high ankle sprain.
He's taking it day to day.
Taking it day to day. If you saw his questions being asked in after the game, the press conference, so Mac Jones potentially out for a few weeks here. Might be Bailey Zapp time. If you don't know, Bailey Zapp is Zach's favorite player. Zach is Bailey Zapp's biggest fan. So I'm surprised you didn't pull the jersey out for Is it still down there? Do you still have it?
Or no, it's not still down here.
No, man.
Not still down here.
First episode, he tossed it off. So, second thing, I have something to ask you. All right, so it's very well known that you are the biggest Lamar Jackson hater. How hard is it right now? How difficult is it to hate Lamar Jackson right now?
It's getting pretty difficult. He's playing pretty well. I still think that he's a little bit overrated, but he's playing really well right now. I can't say he's not playing well.
Yep. So Lamar looking probably MVP potentially right now. Don't think so?
I don't think so.
Who'd be your MVP
right now? It's probably Tua or maybe Josh Allen.
Yeah, fair enough. I think Lamar is in that race as well, though, especially if
he'll be in the race.
To play well. Bengals Jets, not much of one. Bengals finally looking like the Bengals again. Obviously, it's against the Jets, so there's nothing crazy there. 27-12. I'm not even going to do much more touching on that game. Eagles Commanders, just a domination win for the Eagles. The Eagles are looking good. Their defense with I don't know how many sacks, probably 8 sacks or something like that. Commanders, they got? The Eagles got a safety, I believe, too. And then
Commanders got a safety.
Eagles safetied the Commanders. If
No,
that's, I guess.
no. Commander safety the Eagles. At one point, it was 24-2.
Oh, I'm stupid. Yeah. Yep. And then they didn't get a 2-point conversion, so they got 1 touchdown from Gibby there. Tough game for the Commanders. Eagles, once again, that's a good divisional matchup. Eagles looking like a really solid team this year. Definitely another questionable one with teams is the Saints and the Panthers. NFC South matchup here. The Saints, we all thought were going to be good, but their offense just not clicking this year. I know Zach wants to attribute a lot of that, or not attribute that, but big thing is Alvin Kamara's not getting the ball too much, for at least in the passing game, and you need to be able to involve him. Panthers finally get a win. 9-game losing streak is snapped. 1-2 for both teams on the season. The Saints, we both thought we're going to be good this year. So far, not liking what we're seeing.
I will say Jameis Winston is playing through 4 fractures in his back and a shoulder injury and an elbow injury.
Yep. So that's probably a good part of it, but unfortunately, that's where we're at. Probably the most surprising game of the week is the Jags and Chargers. Now, granted, Justin Herbert was probably playing injured. I think, looking at stats, I think Justin Herbert still had a good game. He went 25 for 45. So he threw the ball a lot, so maybe not the greatest completion percentage. Only 1 touchdown, 1 interception. They didn't get much help on the ground game at all. Sony Michel had 5 carries for 22 yards. I was a leading rusher, so they were pretty much passing the whole game due to them being down by so many points. Jacksonville Jaguars, 38 points. Trevor Lawrence is looking really, really good. This game, 28 for 39, 3 touchdowns. Trevor Lawrence looking really good. They get help on the running game from Robinson, Etienne. Jaguars looking really, really good. Right now, the leaders of the AFC South, who would have predicted that?
I wouldn't be surprised if they make a run. Trevor Lawrence looks really good.
Jaguars. Next week will be a big game. Yep. We'll get into that. They're playing the Eagles. So that's, I think, the biggest test for them coming up here. Next game, Rams-Cardinals, divisional matchup here. A little bit closer game, but it was just more of a low-scoring game. Rams had the lead the entire game, I believe.
Yep.
And
it wasn't that close.
Yeah,
Rams had them handle the whole game.
Mostly field goals, 2 touchdowns for the Rams. Everything else, Cardinals did not score a touchdown. So Rams 2-1, Cardinals 1-2. Just tough matchups for the Cardinals so far. Falcons Seahawks, more of a garbage match, and it was kind of a shootout to start and kind of slowed down towards the end. Falcons come out on top. Both teams are now 1-2. Both teams that we knew were going to be at the bottom of the league. Definitely an interesting game and teams. Mariota 13 for 20, Geno Smith 32 for 44, 2 touchdowns and an interception.
They're using Geno Smith.
They're using Geno Smith, and I guess it's not, who knows. So not much to say about that game. Packers and Bucks, close game, low scoring, both teams with elite defenses, and the Packers come out on top 14-12 with a failed 2-point conversion within the last few seconds by the Buccaneers. Tom Brady maybe not looking amazing. Bucks offense not looking amazing, but granted they have no receivers, so that's definitely hurting the Bucks right now. The Packers once again also really have no receivers, so that kind of makes sense why it would be such a low scoring game. Packers 2-1, Bucks 2-1. Good close game. Knew that one was going to be a close, good matchup.
I thought
maybe
it would be,
not that.
Yeah, I thought it'd be more like 35-38 and not 14-12, but.
Yep. And probably the funniest game of the week. It was the 49ers Broncos Sunday Night Football. Just hilarious. 11-10. Now, we thought maybe this would be scoregami the first time this score has happened. It's happened one time. I believe it was in 2008 before, which is crazy. Orlovsky is free as Jimmy Garoppolo steps out of the back of the end zone and takes a safety. Just the whole game was punting. It was the sloppiest offensive. It had to be sloppy offense and not good defense, right?
I just don't even know. I just don't know. That was just the worst game. That's a worst game of the year candidate right there.
It was hard to watch. It was really hard to watch.
Punt and punt and punt over and over. They didn't even turn the ball over. It was just punts.
Yep, it was unbelievable. 11-10, you're not going to see that very often. And then Monday night, right after we just finished watching that game, recording this here on Monday night. Close game between the Cowboys and Giants. Good matchup there for the NFC East. Dallas comes out on top. Cooper Rush looking pretty good. 2-0, Cooper Rush, Dallas Cowboys. The Giants finally lose their first game. Dallas 23-16 final. Diggs with an interception catch at the end. Sterling Shepard looking like he tore another ACL somehow, so that sucks. Prayers up to him. Dallas Cowboys, I don't know if you have anything else to say about that or any other games that went over or anything like that.
No, I mean, really boring games this week. Every night game
really
was super
were.
boring, and then the game of the week, Packers-Bucks, was super boring too. I'd love
Really
to see
low.
some more
We
scoring.
talked about this. Really low scoring games, tight games.
Nobody scoring 30 or 40. It's insane.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Definitely really interesting. So, not talking about our picks, but kind of forgot to do this really quick. Really tough week on picks for us, as you saw on the screen. My first 6 games are losses. Obviously, our discrepancy games, Steelers, Zach takes one. Texans, I lost, so Zach takes that game. And then I take a W with the Bengals. I take a loss with the Cardinals-Rams game. And then I take a win with the Falcons and Seahawks game. So Zach improves to 1. Takes 1 game on me this week. Our overall record's not looking too hot, though. This week I went 5-11, just not good. So overall, I'm now 27-1. Zach is now 23-24-1. We'll be looking for a bounce back week this week. Unbelievable. Just 5-11. Now a lot of it, some of it is kind of, like the Texans. I probably shouldn't have bet on the Texans. But other ones, it's just like, wow. It's. I mean, they were all close. A lot of them were really close games this week. So just a tough week. Hoping to bounce back next week.
Yeah, it's been rough out here with these picks. I just don't even know
This
what's
season
going
is crazy.
on anymore.
It's just absolutely crazy. Moving on, we're going to go over fantasy for the week very briefly. There's really not much to touch on, and you'll see what I mean in a moment. Let me record my screen real quick so you guys can see what I'm looking at. Once again, Dynasty League, Zach and I are in, and looks like they haven't updated here on Sleeper, but officially I did win the week. There was a little bit of controversy, I guess, in the league. My team didn't do much of anything. Burrow helped me, finally got a big performance. Swift didn't do much. ETN didn't do much. Diggs and Amon-Ra put up, kind of mediocre numbers. Higbee, 10 points. Lockett, 16. Rams, 6. My bench was absolutely stacked with Pirine. Jamal Williams, 24.7. Edmonds, 15.7. Eagles D, 20 points. So would have had a blowout win if I would have managed the team better. But opponent didn't really put up much of anything either. But the question was CeeDee Lamb going to put up 25 points? Because before this week, I had Sony Michel. Zach and I made a trade today because I realized that Gallup was going to be out because I thought he was going to play because I played him instead of Keenan Allen, who got kind of ruled out last minute on Sunday. So I had to play Gallup, and Gallup got ruled out early on today. So I kind of went into, chances are CeeDee's probably not going to put up 25 points, but I don't want to risk it. So somehow the trade went through. So it was just a 1-for-1 trade, Noah Brown for Sony Michel. I don't know why it went through, and I think in the future the league isn't going to allow it because Michel had already played. I didn't expect it to go through. We just tried it to see if it would, and the league allowed it, and Sleeper allowed it. And it just barely... Now, I could have not played and still won, but I would have won by a margin of 2.8 points or whatever. I don't know exactly.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Lamb needed 25 points, and he put up 22.7. Obviously, I just get a little bit of a cushion there from Noah Brown, so I win my week, advance to 2-1, should be third place in the league. Zach's not going to mention his team this week because I'll just...
stink.
Yeah, 78 points. There's not even... Devontae, you don't get big games from Devontae or Cooper Kupp. Your quarterback gets 10 points. Montgomery gets injured. James Conner doesn't do much. Treylon doesn't do much. Goddard... I guess is your good
That's a
player.
good one, yeah. That was pretty good by Goddard.
Once again, chooses the wrong defense. I do the same thing. His opponent didn't do a ton either, but kind of a weak for both of our leagues here. And then just very briefly, my team sucks on the other half. My other league, 0-3. Not looking good on that half. So that does it for fantasy. And the last thing we want to do for this week is go over our player picks that we had for last week. If you haven't seen these episodes, we pick one player from each position: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and defense. Just me and Zach versing in a kind of fantasy style matchup. I chose Lamar Jackson, Mixon, Kupp, Freiermuth, and the Saints defense and put up 82. I had a point here. I don't know where it went, so I don't know what happened to that. But I had put up 82-some points. Big performance from Lamar. Most of my other guys didn't do much. What was your final point total?
71.65. Everybody was pretty solid, except for Waller. I got 10-plus points from everybody.
Yeah, so I win this week. We go to 1-1 since we did not do it this week or in the first week. So decent. Lamar helped me out this week, so that's pretty huge. So we're gonna be moving into next week's picks. Once again, you guys see them on the screen, but we do not know each other's picks for this week. So we're gonna go through each game. Looking like a really good, interesting week. I'm really excited for this week for sure. So starting off, finally we got a good Thursday night football match. Well, not finally. The first week was pretty good. Miami and Cincinnati. It's a good game. That's a really good game. Miami 3-0. The Bengals 1-2, looking for a bounce back. Who do you have winning this game?
I can't believe the Dolphins are underdogs in this game. I've got the Dolphins.
I have the Bengals. I think the Bengals are back on track.
You are so high on the Bengals.
I like the Bengals. Once again, at home, and after maybe back on track. Who knows? But there's a star already. Our first European game, 9:30 a.m. on Sunday. Minnesota in New Orleans. New Orleans gets the home designation in Tottenham, London. So pretty cool game there. Minnesota, New Orleans, kind of an interesting game. Who do you have here?
I got Minnesota. New Orleans offense is kind of stalling, and Minnesota looks good.
I chose the Saints.
Wow,
so we're starting off with 2. Maybe they get back on track, but probably not. That might be my bad pick, but you just never know this week. Wow, we're already starting off the first 2 games. We got stars, and I think we're gonna have a few more this week. I really do. Cleveland at Atlanta.
It should be Cleveland. I think that defense is gonna dominate Atlanta's offense.
Yep. Good divisional matchup once again. Commanders and Dallas Cowboys. Who do you have?
I got the Commanders in this one. I think they bounce back.
I got Cooper Rush and the Cowboys going 3-0 with Cooper Rush. So there's another discrepancy game. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be close.
Hey, we won't have one here though. Detroit. We won't have a discrepancy here. Detroit Lions are gonna handle them.
Better win this game. They better win this game. Tennessee at Indianapolis. So that's a good AFC South. This is an important game, I feel like, for this team, because this division is in shambles right now, other than the Jags. Both these teams need this win desperately.
The Colts look good. I got the Colts.
Same. Colts do look good. Titans, I guess, look better too, but they are playing against 0-3 Raiders this week. So, Chicago at New York Giants.
Yeah, I've got the Giants here. I just don't know about Chicago. And the Giants actually look pretty good tonight.
Yep, they did. I mean, what they were 3-0, and they were 2-0. They were 2-0.
Yeah.
They're now 2-1, and they get the home field there. So give them the win. Chicago, obviously, a couple really close garbage games. Jacksonville at Philadelphia is a really I'm really interested to see that. I still think the Eagles take this one just because the Eagles have looked so good, so dominant. But Jags can show us what they're made of. They can
good as Jacksonville just looked.
Yeah,
it's just the Eagles have looked better. The Eagles are 3-0.
Yep. That's fair enough. They're at home there. Should be a good game here. The Jets and the Steelers.
I've got the Steelers. I think that defense is defense again. I don't think the Jets' offense is going to get anything going there.
Now, I did hear that I believe Zach Wilson might be back next week. But I don't think that really changes much. Flacco has looked okay.
Yeah, so definitely Steelers if Zach Wilson's back.
You're probably right. Zach Wilson revenge tour. He's gonna win. Just watch. Buffalo Bills and Baltimore Ravens. I'm excited for this game. This will be a really interesting game. I'm not ready to bet against the Bills yet. I'm sure you aren't either.
I'm not ready.
The Ravens have looked good. I think with the Ravens, I feel like a lot of their games have just been super high scoring. And the Bills' offense. Now, both teams are going to have good offense. I just think the Bills have a better defense. So I think the Bills will prevail in this game. Chargers and Houston. Chargers looking to bounce back. Texans obviously not looking good. Chargers in this game. I'm sure you have the same. Cardinals head to Carolina. Carolina looking for 2 wins in a row. Will they get it?
No, they won't.
No,
Cardinals
they will not.
The much better team here.
Yep. Both teams 1-2, so Cardinals need the win here, but they should get it. You would think so, at least. New England at Green Bay.
Green Bay just beat Tampa Bay. I've got Green Bay. Bailey's app's going to put up a fight, though. It's going to be a close game.
Yep. Definitely something to look at with quarterback matchups. Bailey's app.
Clearly a better quarterback going into that
game. Better quarterback. Denver Broncos at the Las Vegas Raiders. Raiders looking for the first win of the season.
and they'll get it because the Broncos stink.
I got it too. Broncos are not looking good. Absolutely not looking good. So I got the Raiders as well in this game. Next two games I think are going to be really interesting. Sunday Night Football is a close one. Kansas City Chiefs at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Who do you have?
Tom Brady just wins these kind of games. He just does. So I've got the Bucs.
I've got the Chiefs. I have got the Chiefs. The Bucs haven't had much for offense at all, but I know their defense is good. This one, I'm not surprised that we were split because this game could very well go either way.
This is just a game that Tom Brady wins. This is a big game that Tom Brady wins.
That's probably true. Big matchup there. And then capping it off with Monday Night Football, Los Angeles Rams and San Francisco 49ers.
The 49ers just put up 10 points on Sunday Night Football. I'm taking the Rams.
Yeah, that's a good pick right there. Yep. So 4 discrepancy games this week. We got the first 2, Bengals and Dolphins. Then we got Minnesota, New Orleans, New Orleans, whatever you want to say. Dallas and Washington, and then Sunday Night Football, Kansas City Chiefs and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So I'm excited for this week, as I'm excited for every single week, but definitely some good games this week. I'm really excited. Then we got to go do our player picks for this week very quickly here. I don't know. These are tough because you really just don't know what's going to happen. Starting off, you guys once again know who we have both on the screen. We do not know who each other picked. Who's your quarterback to start off the week?
You toasted me with him last week, so I'm going with Lamar Jackson.
Fair enough. I'm not going with Lamar this week. Give me Joe Burrow. I like the matchup. More of a shootout game probably with the Dolphins. So give me Burrow. Running back, I chose Saquon Barkley. Against the Chicago Bears defense, I think he could have a really solid game.
Definitely not a bad pick. I've got Nick Chubb against the Atlanta Falcons defense.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's probably might be. Either one of those could pan out to be pretty good. Receiver, I'm just going more of like a safe pick. With the I'm going Stephon Diggs. I haven't picked Diggs yet. I think Diggs is due for another big week.
If you lose in these picks, your fantasy team's gonna get fucking toasted this week.
It's a good point.
I've got Hollywood Brown against the Panthers.
Okay. Has he? I haven't even paid any attention to him.
He put up like 28
this year.
points this week.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention at all. He put up 28.
I think so.
Really? They didn't
score
anything.
Of yards.
So it was purely
I'm pretty sure he had
just
a lot of yards.
I'm gonna check that.
I swear he had a lot. Or maybe it was last week.
Good for him.
He's put up a big week.
I just searched up Hollywood Brown. Wow. I was wondering why anything didn't come up. Yeah, 28 points this week.
Yeah. Without a touchdown.
14 receptions, 140 yards. That's insane. Oh, my gosh. So, hey, I like that pick. That's a good pick. And then for me, tight end, I got T.J. Hawkinson this week.
I got T.J. Hawkinson this week.
Hey, we got a cancel-out week. My reasoning, obviously, looks like Swift is going to be out. Obviously, a worse defense, so he might get some more touches. Amon-Ra, we don't know his status this week. Probably will be fine. I think he just rolled his ankle. Hawkinson had a good week last week.
Touchdown, maybe.
Give Hawkinson some points here. Who's your defense? I know you didn't know who you were gonna pick here.
I've got the Steelers. I think the Steelers have a really good defensive matchup this week.
Now, as much as you might hate this, I'm gonna bet against Bailey Zapp for the first week of Bailey Zapp. I've got the Packers defense.
Bailey Zapp is going to tear apart that defense, and you're gonna get negative points.
Hey, you know what? I'd be okay with it. I really would. Those are our picks, and that is our Week 3 recap and our Week 4 predictions. I'm going to do this again. What game, other than the Detroit Lions, are you most looking forward to this week?
Probably Bucks Chiefs.
To watching.
Bucks Chiefs is going to be really good. That Thursday night game's Sunday good night. Too.
Yeah. I'm excited for the primetime games this week. All 3 should be good. Hopefully no low scoring. I mean, they could be low scoring, but hopefully no garbage teams without scoring.
Please, can we score more than 25 points in a primetime game?
What was it? I want to say 2017 or 2018. The one shootout game. I think it was
Rams Chiefs. That game was nuts.
Give us that game. Give us that game. Give us that game again. But that is our recap for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm excited for next week because we'll see how these picks went. Hopefully we can get back on track with picks. Hopefully Zach can get back on track with fantasy. And hopefully our player picks come in as well. Thank you so much for watching this episode. See you guys next week, and have a good one.
Peace.